kind of like Big Mike.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Poetry and VGC. Today, I'm not alone. I'm joined by...
It's your boy, Nick here.
AKA, I'll have a water, please. And today we're doing...
That's actually pretty good.
We're doing something a little different. We're going to be going over J. Cole's Love Yourz lyrics because Big Nick likes J. Cole. He thinks he's the best rapper in the game right now. Is that true?
It's hard to argue with, for sure.
Is J. Cole the best rapper in the game?
I mean, he has been for years. It's hard for somebody to take that crown from him.
Okay. As I read this poem, I will not be saying any expletive words because this is a family-friendly channel, and the words on the screen will be blurred, or I'll just have asterisks instead of the bad words, so you'll have to use your imagination. So instead of a certain word, I will be saying, what's a good substitute?
You could go for
friend.
people.
I'm going to go for friend.
Well, that only has one syllable. But all right.
It's friends. Is that also one syllable? Okay, doesn't matter. I'm just going to say friend.
All right.
This is the first verse of Love Yourz by J. Cole. Heart beating fast, let a friend know that he alive. Fake friends mad, snakes in the grass, let a friend know that he arrive. Don't be sleeping on your lover, 'cause it's beauty in the struggle, friend. Goes for all y'all. It's beauty in the struggle, friend. It's beauty in the struggle, friend. Ugliness in the success. Hear my words or listen to my signal of distress. I grew up in the city, and though sometimes we had less, compared to some of my friends down the block, man, we were blessed. Life, can't be no fairy tale. No, once upon a time, but I be goddamned if a friend don't be trying. So tell me, mama, please, why you be drinking all the time? Does all the pain he brought you still linger in your mind? 'Cause pain still lingers on mine. On the road to riches, listen, this is what you'll find. The good news is, friend, you came a long way. The bad news is, friend, you went the wrong way. You think being broke is better. Again, that was the first verse of J. Cole's Love Yourz. And I'm just going to say this real quick. It really seems like this song is an introspective look at maybe some of the hardships of not only the speaker, but the people around the speaker. For instance, he's talking about his friends, he's talking about his life, he's talking about his mom, and he's talking about how the lifestyle that they were living in may seem attractive culturally. However, as somebody who has escaped that life and has gone to something that is worth a lot more, he realizes that people are keeping themselves in that life just because of the cultural aspects about it. Now I'm going to turn the mic over to Nick and see what he has to say.
Yeah, so I think you had some great insight there, but in J. Cole's song Love Yourz, he starts off pretty straightforward with, straight from the title, Love Yourz, that he wants you to love your own life. And a lot of people get caught up in wanting what others have and saying, if I get here, then I'll be happy. So key line, I think, on the road to riches, listen, this is what you'll find. So he wants people to be able to look at their own life and be happy with what you have, So the good news is you came a long way, like you made a lot of progress, you made success. Bad news is you went the wrong way. So by going through and throwing everything on the line to become successful, you came a long way, you became successful, but you threw away, what you have in your life that's important, your family, your loved ones. And I really think that, this is the first verse, and he goes on to keep emphasizing this point that having a strong grip on your own life where it is more important than achieving these, grandiose goals in life. And what do you think about some of these lines? Like, obviously he uses the N word a lot. I guess that's part of the culture, but he brings in his own personal life. And how do you think that affects the song?
Well, after watching I think it's important to watch the music video. I'll have that linked in the description below. While paying attention to the lyrics, a lot of the scenes of the music video it starts with him, like it brings it back always to him performing the song live, but it's always showing cuts of his friends, his group,
Right.
as they're doing things. And I think there's a lot of emphasis on on other people in this song, as well as his life, showing that, like, even it's your life, but how intertwined everyone is. Like,
Right.
it's hard to do something on your own path without changing what anyone else is trying to do. And I think he's emphasizing that, because this song feels like almost like he's giving experience to somebody that's younger than him, more naive than him, because he's experienced something more, and he realizes that there's a bunch of aspects to life that somebody may not get, and he's trying to hand that over, sort of as a
Yeah,
coming of age thing.
definitely. I think you can kind of say that he's looking back on his own life introspectively, but almost like, this is almost like a regret, but a lesson at the same time. One of his other songs that I really like, "A Tale of Two Cities," is basically, you know, he moves into this fancy neighborhood, and he says, well, damn, the hood was better, essentially, to put it crudely, because he doesn't feel like he belongs with the new people that he's, met with success. He prefers the people that he grew up with and he came up with. So I think that this kind of is a tribute to those, the people he cares about, his friends, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that's a common theme in most of his songs?
I think he has a few. I think a common theme is definitely the whole "Love Yours." This song itself, like this, it pops up in a lot of other songs, like that theme. But this is like, very in your face about it.
Right.
But I think that's like his personal story that has popped up a lot, especially in this album. The 2014 Forest Hill Drive album that Tale of Two Cities is on. It's a lot about where he came from and how he feels like he should have respected his people more. Right. And like, I think his most popular song, he's talking about, is in it, apparently, and he's talking about how he's, partying in New York while his mom can't pay her mortgage, and he should have done something about that, is what he was saying. But I think he has a lot of almost regret about it, and he, in this song, uses it to try to tell a story and a cautionary tale.
Right. Okay. I think we should shift gears a little bit and talk about maybe the structure of the verse. Now, something that's associated with poetry as well is that it's better to experience the poem or the song, whatever, as intended by the original artist. Unfortunately, for rap music, that is easily done. For poems from like the 18th century or whatever, it is impossible. So obviously, if you have not listened to this song, go listen to it. The delivery is a lot more emphasized in the original artist's rendition. I am reading the words as they are on my screen right now.
Right.
Trying to
even listening to when you're reading it, I'm thinking, that flow is a lot different.
Right. There's an element of the flow that we can't break down because I am not performing the song. I am simply reading it and trying to analyze it. So there's a big difference in that. That's probably like the biggest difference between poetry and between older poetry and modern poetry, is that the fact is we are able to actually listen to the way that the artist wants us to experience it, whether for better or for worse. So in this song, there's not a lot of, especially in this verse, there's not a lot of repetition. So for the lines that do repeat, it's important, I think, to the overall message. So in the beginning, or towards after a couple of lines, it says, "It's beauty in the struggle, friend. It's beauty in the struggle." He says it twice, so he doesn't really repeat any other lines that I can see. So it's important to see the emphasis of those lines in the verse. And from what I believe, it sort of emphasizes the message even more. He has to say it twice, that it's beauty in the struggle, as in it's your life. You shouldn't want to take anyone else's, because then you'd be just getting it without anything in return. So I think it's that repetition sort of drives home the same meaning. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think the journey and not the destination type situation. And even, this first line, or the very beginning, which is "No such thing as life's better than yours" a couple times. I think that's pretty straightforward. And then it comes into, heart beating fast, lets you know that you're alive. Like fear or adrenaline, that's like when you're struggling, when you're pushing yourself. But that's when you quote unquote feel alive the most. So I think that leads into a powerful line there as well.
Right. Now, another thing is there's no apparent rhyme scheme, and from what I can see, no repeatable rhyme scheme. So I believe the rhyme in this verse is essentially just to complement the flow.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I think he switches up his flow so much that it's hard to establish a consistent scheme.
Right. And an actual, like a, what is intended to be more of a poem, the rhyme scheme may help emphasize or change the meaning of a poem, let you know where you're at in terms of the theme that the author wants to present. Now, again, I highly suggest listening to the artist J. Cole sing this before you try to analyze the lyrics, which I did, and that the rhyme scheme is more important to the flow as opposed to the original meaning. But anything else you want to add?
Well, you mentioned the rhyme scheme, and this may be a stretch, but he does flip his flow, and he changes the scheme like throughout the song. Just to, I think, that winding path, that might be a stretch, but the winding path of the quote unquote struggle, the path to success, the journey that he's emphasizing so much, has a lot of curves in it, and I think that this song does as well, and I think that he does a good job of emphasizing that.
Very profound. I didn't think about that. But again, we are only covering the first verse of this song. If you would like to listen, if you would like the second verse of this song in another video, let's go ahead and smash that like button. Let's get 3 likes on this video, and maybe I'll ask Nick to come back and to do an analysis on that second verse. So, just as a rundown, in the video, I have no idea what I'm showing, honestly, but in the first video, I showed a repeat of the Sun team that I used, essentially just combining fast attackers that have the ability to abuse Sun, and it worked out pretty well for me. And in the second video, I think I lose, so that's good. And I think that we're at about the time for this video. I would like to thank Big Nick, aka I'll Have a Water With That, and I appreciate his analysis. And if you would like to promote anything, now is his time to do so.
Well, thanks for having me, Big Mike, and I just want to, thank everybody for watching.
All right. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.